My eyes slowly open as I hear my mom burst into my room looking for something. She turns to me, explaining how it's time to leave. I look over at my clock. It reads 1:13 a.m. I sit up in my bed, confused. Why did she wake me? I guess she had found what she was looking for because she suddenly grabs one of my bags and sets it down by the front door. She tells me to get dressed because we have to leave now. I still do not know what's happening. Hurry, she exclaims. We don't have much time. I get into the car, still groggy, and ask where we are going. She doesn't answer. We were in the car for what seemed like a very long time, until we pulled into a parking garage and got out of the car. We were walking inside. There were people everywhere. I had never been inside an airport before, at least not that I remember, but I definitely knew what this meant. We got our tickets and stood in line waiting to board the plane. There was a long hallway where the walls were lined with what looked like gray felt. I ran my hands along it as we walked to the plane doors. The flight attendant ushered my mom and I to seats A and B in row 22, and we took our seats, waiting until takeoff. I was antsy on the 4-hour plane ride because I couldn't really move around very much. I tried to listen to music, but it wasn't distracting enough. Neither was watching a movie or reading a book. I was just too excited to get there already. As the plane descended, an announcement came on stating the location, time, and weather. The Dominican, 11:24 a.m. and 29 degrees. Finally, we were about to arrive, which meant no more waiting. My mom was right. I really am an impatient person. I suddenly realized that I may be dressed a tad too warm, and that was confirmed when I stepped off the plane and felt a wave of tropical heat. As we got into the shuttle bus that would take us to our hotel, I could only imagine all of the fun things we'd be able to do on this trip. But first, we had to get to our room to unpack our things. Immediately after that, I wanted to go swimming, so we put on our bathing suits and off we went. The pool was so warm, it kind of felt like a hot tub. The unlimited sunlight had made it quite warm, but I really didn't mind. The week was off to a pretty good start, and the days that followed seemed to be the same. We ended up booking an excursion at the front desk, which included taking a boat to the middle of the ocean to swim with sharks, stingrays, and to go deep sea diving. My mom's fear of the ocean didn't make her as keen about the day trip as I was, but she still did it because of the smile it put on my face. Apparently, I had spent too much time in the sun that day, because my 3 layers of SPF 60 sunscreen didn't seem to protect me from the horrifically painful sunburn I got. I spent 2 full days in the hotel room, not able to move or apply aloe to my body because of the extreme heat stroke I got. That was the only down part of the trip, other than having to leave, obviously, because who would ever want to leave paradise? Those 7 days of laying in the sun, swimming in the pool, and lounging in the sand were probably the best days of my life, or at least that's what I thought, since I was only 9. The plane ride home was even worse than the one there because I knew what was waiting on the other side, and it definitely was not another vacation. Going from the sweltering heat of a destination spot to the frigid air of a Canadian spring was an adjustment I wish I never had to make. Ever since that first surprise vacation, I have always wanted to move to a warmer place for a more permanent vacation lifestyle. Although it physically had to end, I will always be able to live with the amazing memories we created on that trip. Now, whenever I close my eyes in the warmth of the day, my mind will be able to transport me back to the time in my life when everything was simpler, and that's an important thing I will be able to carry with me for the rest of my life.